Hi there, Wendy and Les here.
And we're just at the St. John Harbor watching the majestic Princess cruise ship just sail out of the harbor. It's been here all day.
Yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit today about why it is that we feel we can afford to retire.
Oh, okay.
And dating back, we have to go back into the history books here.
Dig deep into the archives.
Yes, we do. When we were in our 40s, we were living on the very opposite coast of Canada, in the Vancouver area. And we felt at that time like early retirement, especially, was just a dream and a fantasy. We would never be able to achieve it. And my brother, actually, who was older than me by 14 years, he pulled me aside one day and said he didn't think we could ever retire. In fairness, Wendy and I got a late start in life together. We met in our mid to early 30s. And so the clock for enjoying retirement was always kind of stacked against us. But we were determined. Like, we've worked, both of us have, since we were teenagers, full time.
Yeah.
And we've paid our dues. We hoped that we could find some time to actually enjoy life at some point. And it didn't seem like that was going to happen when we were living on the West Coast. And I remember one day that I went on YouTube and watched a bunch of videos from financial planners looking for some help or some advice as how we could possibly get out of the rat race. And everything seemed to indicate that we were going to work for the rest of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So we put our heads together and we thought about ways that maybe were a little bit outside the box.
Got a little creative. I think when you have to get a little creative if you want something bad enough.
So Wendy actually started looking at homes out on the East Coast instead of where we were living.
Yeah.
So living on the West Coast, for any of you who don't know, Vancouver is the most expensive region in Canada to live in.
Yeah.
And we didn't choose to live there. I was born and raised there, so that's just kind of where we always were.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, it's the Love Boat. That's awesome.
Just let that play out for a minute. It's going to go again.
Is it?
Isn't it?
Are you sure?
Oh, maybe.
Okay.
So living on the West Coast was, my fear was that I couldn't survive a Canadian winter, a real Canadian winter, because in the West it just kind of rains.
It was very mild out there, so.
It was mild, so we had a similar climate to Seattle if you're watching from somewhere else. But we knew we weren't going to be able to accomplish what we wanted to accomplish doing the things that we were doing. So we took it upon ourselves to look, to research, to check other things.
Yeah.
And to make a long story short, the main reason that we are able to be retired right now is that we made a move to St. John.
Yeah.
So we moved from coast to coast.
Yeah.
And Canada is the second largest country in the world by landmass. So moving coast to coast is not an easy task.
Mm-hmm.
But when your hope for life is to experience life itself and all the adventures that can come with it, we did it. We look back on it fondly to this day.
Just living life on your own terms, right? I mean, just like doing things the way you want to do them rather than just being a slave to the grind day in and day out. So.
Now, are we saying that everybody should move across the country to retire early? First of all, we're not going to give any advice to anybody ever on this channel.
Yeah.
We're just going to share what we've done, and if that gives you any ideas, or at least makes you want to think different approaches to accomplish what you want, then that's great.
Yeah.
But for us, it was the single biggest thing that we could have done to be able to afford to retire early.
Yes. So we came out here with some pretty big ideas. We sold our property in BC, and we were able to come out here and buy a small house and pay for it out of the profits from our property in BC, and have a little change left over and stuff. And then we just kind of work from there. but it was really all about making some sacrifices earlier on. We never really got into the whole big house idea. Now, if you have a family, we totally get that. You have a family, you need the big house, you need the room, and all that sort of stuff. It was always just the two of us, so we always thought a little smaller as far as property is concerned. But when we came out here, we actually bought a house. It was the first house we ever owned. We only owned condos in BC, and so it was a nice change to actually have like a little bit of a yard and all that
For a
sort of stuff
while.
for a while.
It was a novelty.
It was a novelty, but it gave us some freedom to do things on our own terms and have like a little money in the bank and be mortgage free. So
Yeah, so now because we always did live in condos in BC, that kind of became our comfort zone. And when we decided we wanted to retire, we decided we were going to be in a condo here. And we will talk more about our condo because I know there's a lot of pros and cons to condo living. But for today, I want to just mention that uh, for us, having a similar home on the other side of the country would probably cost us 3 to 4 times what our home here cost us.
yeah,
And that would have meant that there was no chance of us retiring
yeah,
early.
yeah.
Now, beyond that, we're still not rich, so we still make sacrifices.
Yeah,
Uh, but they aren't really sacrifices because we accomplish a lot and we live our life the way we want to. And we've traveled all to many parts of the world often. We don't travel once a year or anything like that. We go wherever we seem to want to go, and we manage to do whatever we want to do.
whenever we wanted to do it.
And it's because we economize on things. But
Yeah,
the first and foremost thing was to think outside the box. We
yeah,
had to do that because nobody was advising us, hey, why don't you just sell everything you have and move to the other coast of the country?
yeah.
But that was a solution that worked for us.
And
And
it wasn't a sacrifice in hindsight. It kind of was a blessing. It wasn't a sacrifice at all. It was just,
well, we thought it was going to be,
yeah,
but no, it hasn't been. Like we're living in an absolutely beautiful part of Canada.
yeah,
Uh, we, the cruise ship you just watched leave, those people on that ship are paying to come and visit this part of the
yeah,
world.
they are.
We live here, every day. But yeah, I mean, I guess the point here that we're trying to make is that if there's something you want to do you want to listen to the people that say you can't do it or you shouldn't do it? Or do you want to find a way that makes it work where you can do it?
Oh, good one. Yeah, I like that.
So that's what we did, and that's what we're continuing to do.
Yeah,
And even now, when we retired early, we don't ever divulge our full financial situation because it's not relevant to anyone else. Our situation is not the same as anybody else's. But people that have an idea of what our history is, they doubted that we would actually retire. We were successful in what we were doing.
yeah,
So what's the point? But the point is that you only have so much time on this planet,
yeah,
and we really want to make the best of our time.
yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, Wendy and I had a late start in life,
Hmm.
so we really want to maximize the years we have left to enjoy each other's company. And in the reality of things, doesn't your retirement come down to more of what you're doing than how much money you have? I watched my parents' retirement from a front row seat. My dad retired at 62. He ended up wheelchair bound from a stroke at 71 and he passed away at 82. Rest his soul. But through all of that, their financial situation never changed. If he needed a little bit of home care when he was wheelchair bound, well, then obviously they didn't travel during those years. But when I would speak to him, his one biggest regret, and he retired early at 62, was that he didn't retire even earlier than that.
Hmm.
So what we want to do is maximize our time. We want to spend as much time together,
Together, yeah,
enjoying each other's company,
yeah,
uh, taking on new adventures, like moving across the country was an adventure, and experiencing all that life has to offer.
yeah.
And
Well said.
And beyond that, now we also economize. Like, we have our condo that we bought here is the smallest in the building, basically the cheapest in the building.
Yeah.
So there's some wealthy people living in there. We see a lot of Mercedes and Audis and BMWs in the
But we
parking garage.
we got the spot
But
in the like uptown core
yeah,
that we wanted.
we got a great location.
Yeah, we did for the price we wanted.
We
So
made it a compromise. We bought a small unit.
yeah,
And our feeling is you can only be in one place at one time, so you have to have the biggest unit in the building. One of the benefits that Wendy and I have is we don't really care what anybody else thinks about us. Never have. But we care about each other and what we do together and what we accomplish together.
Aww.
And we've been able to accomplish a lot with a little.
Yeah.
And we hope to continue doing that.
Yeah.
So we economize when we go out. Maybe we can't, go to the best restaurant every day, but we go out often.
We do, yeah.
Maybe we travel in the winter instead of the peak season of summer, but summer's a great time to spend in St. John anyway.
It is. So we'll elaborate a little bit more on all of that over the next coming little while. All of our tips and tricks and everything else that kind of works for us. And we don't want to come across as preachy, but at the same time, like things, and we're new to this, so I'm sure we'll have our wins and our losses and everything else, and we'll share them all with you. But for now, it's kind of working.
We've been making videos on YouTube for 4 years, but they've never been about us. They've always been about this city that we live in, because we do believe in it, and it is the city that helped us retire early. But all we're suggesting is don't necessarily take the advice of people like us or anyone else on YouTube. Think about what might work for you, and instead of listening to someone telling you you can't do something, look for ways where you can do what you want.
Yes, well done. All right. Yeah. So, I mean, we're absolutely loving retirement in St. John.